Man, it's real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's the local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go. Here we go on this Monday evening in the city. It is October 21st, 2024, 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for an all-new edition of Real Talk Memphis. Welcome in, each and every one of you. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. It is great to be back with you after, from what I'm to hear, it's a very successful pledge week we had around here. The Hope Board says 100%, so we reached 100% of our goals. We could not do that without each and every one of you supporting and listening to this radio station and what we do each and every week. We truly could not be as successful as we are without you. And so we thank each and every one of you for contributing and, more importantly, being a supporter of WYXR. As I stated, this is Real Talk Memphis. And for those of you who are trying to figure out how to get this fine piece of radio broadcasting, you can do it a number of ways. 91.7 FM. Right now, WYXR. Of course, you can hear us. You can also catch us on the WYXR app. We are on the TuneIn app. You can find us there as well. Put in WYXR in the search, and there you go. You can also find us, let me see here. We are also live streaming tonight, or we should be live streaming. We hopefully will be live streaming tonight. On Facebook, on my Facebook page, and as the show gets posted in the next day or two, you will be able to find us on YouTube, and as we are a podcast, you can find us wherever it is you get your podcast. So again, several ways to find this radio show, and we hope that you select one of those and hang out with us for the next 60 minutes or so, as I think we have a pretty good show for you tonight. Speaking of, the guest list is as follows. We are going to be speaking with Melvin Burgess, and Melvin is the Shelby County Assessor. We hear that the rates are going to go up first of the year. Taxes are going to go up. It's going to cost us more if you're a homeowner out there. He's going to break all of that down for us and let us know what we can expect after the first of the year. A little bit later on, we're going to speak with Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. She is the city councilwoman, Memphis, the city councilwoman, and we're right in the midst of voting season. We all know that, right? We're in the midst of early voting, and as such, there are three particular amendments on the ballot, in the city ballot. They all have to do with gun control referendum, and she is going to talk to us about that and just how important it is for you all to weigh in with your vote for this, to see if we can't get some momentum going from the city, from the people that live here in the city of Memphis. We'll talk a little bit about that. And a little bit later on, there is a new play coming to town, the Orpheum Theater. It's called We Got This, and it is about Binghamton. legendary, historic Binghamton. Well, we have the author, the writer of the play and actress, Ann Perry Wallace will be joining us, along with Santyria Johnson from the Orpheum Theater. They're kind of working together in a collective partnership with all of this. So I'm very excited to have a conversation with them about how all of this came about and how you can get a chance to see this. This is about our very own and our hood as well. So I'm looking forward to having that conversation with those fine folks a little bit later. So there you go. That's the rundown of the show. As we always do this time of the broadcast, right at the beginning, we celebrate you. If you are still here and fortunate enough to be here for another trip around the sun, well, this is the segment that we like to showcase you. We like to do a little thing called the shout out around here. And without further ado, I say, hit it, Bryn. Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Amanda Bryant, happy birthday to you. Jerry Wilshire celebrating as well. Sarah Kyle, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Mr. Jimmy Williams. Miss Andrea McKinley Brown celebrating her birthday today, as is Charlene Berryhill. Bradford Charleston celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Nikki Smith Brown. And my friend, the minister, Kelvin Lake, celebrating his birthday. And ladies and gentlemen, what would this segment be without a saunter to the microphone from Lola? Lola.
Happy birthday to my good friend, Jermaine Reed.
Happy birthday, Jermaine. It's always nice to be able to make another one. And we celebrate you and all the folks who are celebrating a birthday on today or this past weekend or even upcoming this week. Hope this day has been filled with love and laughter, and we all hope to be with you as you celebrate next year in your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brand. Appreciate it. So let's take a look at some news and notes before we get into this, shall we? Early voting, as mentioned, has begun in earnest here in Shelby County. It began last Wednesday. So far, without counting today's results, over 41,000 people, registered voters, have gone to the polls. That's a good start, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way to come out of the gate, feeling good. We're encouraged about that. Now let's keep this up. All right. The early voting will end on the 31st of this month. And of course, the general election is on November 5th. If you don't want any hassles, about it, get out there and get in line early and get your vote on. As a responsible radio host, cast my ballot over the weekend. So I did go to the polls and lock in. So, you can't tell other folks to move their hind parts and get to the polls if I'm not willing to do so myself. But I did do that. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see my little sticker and everything. That's always the official portion of all of that. The MATA board, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes, too, with Councilwoman Sutton. The MATA board, the previous board has been fired, you could say. Mayor Young got rid of the existing MATA board and has brought in 9 new members. So now we have to wait and see what happens with all of this. They've been appointed. They have their marching orders. And we'll see if there are going to be layoffs, as were predicted before. But more importantly, what happens next to all of this? The consulting group that did an overview of MATA said MATA doesn't need to lay anybody off. They need to get more buses. They need to have more bus routes. And they're woefully behind in a lot of different categories. So once again, MATA is under the gun. Now, this new board that has been appointed, they got the pressure. And we're going to see how they move forward to take care of the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County who rely on them each and every day. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Many of you heard I'm sure, about the very sad news that happened Saturday morning over at Shelby Farms when an ex-boyfriend of the victim shot and killed his ex-girlfriend Saturday morning at Shelby Farms after a race out there, the breast cancer awareness event. The suspect, his name is Jackson Hooper. He's 26 years of age. He's been charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of 22-year-old Ellie Young, who apparently they were at one time a relationship, a couple, but no longer. And now, unfortunately, she is no longer with us. When will we learn that, if something is over, it's over? And when will we learn that we don't live in a society where we dominate folks by gunshots and by violence? And we see way too much of that. This is a classic example of it. And, again, if the relationship is done, then let it be done. You go your way and let them go their way and live their life. But to deprive a person of life because they didn't want to be with you anymore is just plain dumb and stupid. We also had an incident, I believe it was yesterday, where a man, it might have been last night, where a man heard some commotion outside his house. When he opened the door to look outside to find out exactly what that commotion was, there were some individuals apparently trying to steal his car. As he yelled at them to move on, they turned around, fired several shots, striking him and killing him in the doorway of his own home, trying to protect his property. Again, we're going to be talking about this gun control referendum that is going to be on the ballot on November 5th here in the city of Memphis, and why you might want to pay attention to all of this. Now, before we understand that the state has told us that there is you can't usurp, local municipalities can't usurp state law, and while the state has allowed us, in air quotation marks for me, to put this on the ballot without taking any measure, they know that it won't be passed without their approval. That's not the point. The point is that when are we as a city and as a municipality going to stand up and not let people bully us around anytime they feel like it? The state decided they were going to withhold our sales tax to the amount of $70+ million. If you put that on the ballot, we're going to withhold your money. Well, I have said before on this broadcast that J.D. Smiley, who's the chairman of the city council, and several members have said absolutely not, and they took it to court, and the court ruled in the city's favor. So it is on the ballot right now. So now it's up to you. You can create quite the ruckus here if you go and vote, and if you vote in support of this. This sends a bigger message. I mean, they may be able to override it, but at the end of the day, you have sent a message that, you know what, we care about our safety, and what goes on here in West Tennessee, here in Memphis, is important to us. All right, enough about that. We'll take our first break, and when we come back, how about we get into the broadcast? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? This is Real Talk Memphis. Bryn is on the board tonight, production board. Lovely Lola is the producer of this broadcast, and I'm just your little old host, Chip. We'll take our first break of the night, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
The Memphis Brooks Museum of Art hosts Sounds of Memphis every Thursday evening, where art and melody converge. Each week, a new Memphis powerhouse presents a unique evening that showcases the city's unparalleled musical legacy. From the soulful blues and rock and roll that define generations to the contemporary sounds shaping today's scene, Sounds of Memphis offers an unmatched music experience. Sponsored by the Turley Foundation Incorporated and Amy and Ronnie Wright. Cocktails and hors d'oeuvres will be available for purchase. More information can be found at brooksmuseum.org.
The 2024 Grind City Coffee Expo returns Saturday, November 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Crosstown Arts. Celebrating the culture in and around coffee, featuring new vendors, discussion panels, a virtual reality art gallery, and coffee and cocktail demos to continue highlighting the ever-growing coffee scene. All proceeds will benefit Protect Our Aquifer, because you can't have great coffee without great water. More information and tickets for sale at grindcitycoffee.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, and glad that you are with us. Let me take a quick peek at the Facebook Live line here. My brother checking in from Los Angeles, California. Ramel, hey, I see you, Ramel. Hi to you. Hi, Paris. I see you on there as well. And Maya is on the line tonight. I appreciate you. That's my adopted daughter out there, out here. I don't know if she's back in town or not. She was out of town over the weekend. Patricia Rogers is checking us out tonight. Thank you all, as always. It is always nice to have you. It's always great to have my first guest. This young man has been representing us for a long time. As the Shelby County Assessor, and many of you know him, of course. His name is Melvin Burgess, and Melvin, it's great to see you. Great to have you on the show tonight, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Chip. Thanks for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
No, we really appreciate you taking the time. So I gave us a warning, I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, a couple of weeks back, about what property owners can expect in terms of the cost of things next year. And of course, none of us like to hear about increases in anything, but it looks like we might be seeing something like that in terms of our property taxes. Lay it out for us.
Well, Chip, first of all, again, thanks for having me. But what I want to do is I want to explain the misconception that people get, from the assessor's office, thinking that I'm the reason that your property taxes are increased. So first of all, by state law, by the state of Tennessee, I am required to ensure that I assess all properties, right? Yeah. And that these properties are brought up to market value, right? So it's just unfortunate that the state of Tennessee, the only way they realized revenue is by way of property taxes.
Yeah. Hey, Melvin, let me interrupt you just for a quick second. We can't see you. We see your slate, but we can't see you. So I wanted the folks to, if you could adjust that on your end, that we could see you and we can have that two-way thing going here. I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine, but I can't see you yet. That's
okay. I got home and got a little on the comfortable side. So let me get it together, okay?
Okay, no problem. No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry, Chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just want to be able to see you talking. There you go. That's my man. There you go. That? Yes, sir. It's good to see you. I'm sorry, Melvin. Please forgive the interruption. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
That's okay. I think people get the misconception, Chip, that the assessor has something to do with your property taxes. Well, the assessor, by state law, I have to bring all values up to market value, and the market is still great. The market is still good, right? So it's just, by law, the state of Tennessee, the only way that they realize revenue is by way of property taxes.
Okay.
So what happens here, remember now, the last reappraisal we had was in 2021. So now I'm up again for another reappraisal in 2025. So we're on a 4-year cycle. So once I go out and once we appraise your properties, businesses, of course, homeowners, commercial, that's what we do. I'm required to do that by state law. So once we do that, I send you something out around March or April saying, let's talk a reappraisal, as well as showing you what your assessment is, which would be your land plus plus your building and your house or whatever the case might be, right? Mm-hmm. So once we do that, I give you a chance. And one thing about my office, Chip, I want the Shelby County to know is you don't have to take that assessment that I send you out. It could be high, it could be low, but what we ask of, come see me first. Remember, I have over 356,000 parcels, right? And I have a great team that goes out, and we don't verify every last one as far as on site, but we do GIS. We look at comps. We have a good relationship with MAR. We look at the sales in your neighborhood. We take comps from all around Shelby County to determine what your property values are.
Right.
Well, once I get that information, now remember, I always give you a chance, to say, hey, look, I don't like it, assessor. Please see what you can do to help me. That's what I'm there for.
Okay.
Now, once I send that roll over to the trustee, which is Regina Newman, right?
Mm-hmm.
She waits for the state. What the state does when we go through a reappraisal, they lower the tax rate. I think the tax rate now, Chip, is $3.39. Being hypothetical, they're probably lowered to maybe about $3 and some change. Well, then when it's lowered, it's up to your Shelby County commissioners to set the tax rate.
Okay.
So the Shelby County commissioners would determine what your house payments could be, not the assessor. All the assessor does is just assess the properties per the state law and bring everything up to market value. So you're going to see an increase. You are going to see an increase, not in your property taxes, but you will see an increase in your assessments between 25 to 30%. And that's because by state law, I am liable to make sure that your properties are brought up to market value. And that's the value of the market as we stand. Remember, all of you all who's listening, is that I bet you all out there getting phone calls saying, hey, you want to sell your property? You want to sell your property? It's the reason why, because the market is still hot. Okay. The market is still hot.
So the market is so all of this depends on the market, and you're already letting us know in terms of the assessment of the property that's going to go up. And of course, I guess when property goes up, the taxes go up, correct? In terms of
not necessarily, Chip, because what could happen is, even though you had 339, the Shelby County commissioners, they could lower the tax rate to say 335, 334. So you could be still paying the same taxes that you're paying due to an increase in your assessment, your property assessment. Okay. It's up to the county commissioner to determine, what they want to set their tax rate.
So we're on a 4-year cycle, you said, and so we're coming 4-year cycle, and we're coming up next year. So what you're doing really is a sort of a preemptive, I guess, sort of letting folks know if that this could possibly happen. I do have a question here on the Facebook line. Somebody asked, is this a benefit to homeowners when their property is brought up to align with market value?
Yes, of course. Chip, remember, some of y'all could remember, I was pushing for a 2-year reappraisal at the time, because my thing is, why don't we go ahead and identify growth when it happens, like every 2 years? But of course, as I was pushing that, people were looking at it and people just didn't understand it. And finally, I got it through the state for us to do more frequent reappraisals, which would lift some of the benefit or lift some of the burden off the residential. Because some of your bigger cities, Chip, like Houston, Atlanta, they do their appraisals every year, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when the state saw that, every 4 years, some of these smaller counties, within the state of Tennessee, they were losing money due to the sales ratio. So the sales ratio, for the most part, is when I looked at your property in 21 versus now in 2025, they do what you call a ratio, looking at even as higher or lower, right? So who would benefit from the sales ratio by us not doing every 2 years would be some of your bigger companies. And I tried to let people understand what that was about, but still we don't get it. I promise you that if we go to a 2-year reappraisal, it would really benefit the regular home residential constituent.
Who decides that, Melvin, in terms of that? And it sounds like that's something you may be wanting to try to push for.
Yeah, well, I pushed so hard, Chip, that my face turned red. I even got the state to come down, and we went and did a presentation to the state in 2019. Okay. We did a presentation, and the comptroller, Mumpower, was really elated and felt that it's a good thing. But of course, they said that he don't feel that the state was ready for it. But then maybe about a year ago, when I was at a retreat for all the assessors for the whole state of Tennessee, he all of a sudden now says, you know what? I think we can go to more frequent reappraisals. You know why? Because your smaller counties were losing big bucks. For some of the, these appraisals, they want to do more frequent reappraisals because because some counties they were being hit. I have to always keep a lobbyist in my office to work down at the state because they try to pass a lot of laws that really is not beneficial to a bigger county like Shelby. Mm-hmm. We're the bigger county. Mm-hmm. So us in Davidson, we're the bigger county. So I stay on top of that. And now it's a good thing. He's all in for more frequent reappraisals. But guess what? I can't get the buy-in with the municipalities. They don't want it. And it's merely because they don't understand it, because I promise you, it does help the homeowner. So I don't know what the politics is. It's not about Melvin Burgess. It's all what I can do for the average homeowner, in our neighborhoods, especially our neighborhoods that are distressed, Chip.
Right. Now, I see that you have, and probably because of what you just stated, that you are launching a series of community meetings for residents to come out and you can explain exactly how all of this works and explain, what it does to impact them or not impact them. I think that's a very, very good idea. When does that start, Melvin? When do you start doing that?
But we've already started. I think we did one out in Millington. I was over at the University of Memphis talking to some commercial developers about it. And also, of course, I was on the Bev Johnson show this morning. And Wednesday, I'm going to be out at Singleton over in Bartlett. So I got a host of them that I'm setting that's coming up. So I can just get people to understand and let them know that you have an outlet. If you would contact me when you get that assessment, then we can talk and I can see what I can do. Yeah. And I've been stressing that the first of the year, what I'm going to put on my website, Chip, is where you can go into different areas or different zones. We send them out by zones like East Memphis, North Memphis, like that. Yeah. So I'm going to put out there, just like when you go buy a car. When you go buy a car, the first thing you already know what kind of car you're going to buy, but you want to know how much you're going to pay for it. So I'm going to send something out in zones to pretty much let you know what your value should be. And then you can work on it between January and March when I send out your information when it comes to what your values are. I'm going to put something out there so you can see, or you can even go on Zillow. There are so many different sites you can go on to look and see what homes sold in your neighborhood or what the expectation could be. So you can have something to deal with when you come to see me. But I stress this for homeowners. If you do not like their reappraisal, the assessor wants you to appeal it. You have that right to come see me. Now, don't skip me and go to the Board of Equalization. Right. And if you call me out, Chip, you be sure when I come out there. Now, if you don't have a swimming pool and a garage on my road, then now you know what's going to happen. Right. So just be sure you carefully look at, what I have noted on my website or my road, before I come out. But I'm here to help homeowners, with that reappraisal information.
Well, listen, Melvin Burgess, Shelby County Assessor, laying it out for us, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, and what he wants you to know more than anything else is that he's going to give you this information. But if you have any questions about any of this, you can reach out to him at his office, and they will be happy to explain things to you, walk you through it. Don't go through this thing blind and say nobody told you anything. He's saying to you right now that our office is here. This is what we're here for. Don't blame us. Let us work with you. Am I correct in that, Mel?
I am very correct. And, Chip, one thing I've learned, I've been in this office now going on a little over 6 years, is we as elected officials, we do not provide our constituents or Shelby Countyans with the resources that they have. And my office is here for you for resources. We got a robust call center that I equip with not lay people, but people you're going to be talking to who know about properties, and they're going to be appraisers to take your questions. And I promise you, if you call our office, we will work with you with that assessment of whatever we can do to help the average homeowner, because it is their right. Everybody can't go out and hire an appeals attorney to help them flip to lower their assessment. Sure. So that's why I am here for the everyday homeowner here in Shelby County.
Melvin, thank you, man, for taking some time to come on the show tonight and explain all of this to our listeners. I really appreciate you. And, of course, we'll have you back as we get a little closer to all of this, and we'll probably have another conversation. But I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. I appreciate you having me again. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Melvin Burgess, Shelby County Assessor, saying that, we're going to see some increases in 2025, but fear not. He and his office are there to help us out. Let's take another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to shift gears to deal with some city politics, and the correlation with that and this election couldn't be more important. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Huey's is proud to support WYXR's Raised by Sound Fest. Established in 1970 with 10 locations, Huey's menu includes burgers, sandwiches, and more. More information at hueyburger.com. Support for WYXR comes from the Metal Museum. The Metal Museum's largest annual fundraiser, Repair Days, will take place October 17th through October 19th. Bring your metal items to the museum and have them restored to their former glory. All proceeds help support the museum's annual programming, such as the Apprenticeship and Intern Program, the M4 on Tour, and the after-school program Forging the Future. More information and the full weekend schedule at metalmuseum.org/repair-days. Support for WYXR comes from the Halloran Center Presents, featuring the Queen's Regency Ball, a 19th century soulful murder mystery in partnership with Princeton James Productions. This immersive and interactive dinner theater experience includes a night of mystery, music, and more on Sunday, October 27th. More information and tickets available at orpheum-memphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to the show on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Real Talk Memphis, Chip with you. And as I stated at the top of the show, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of election season, and there is a lot at stake. Of course, there's a lot on the ballot. One of the things that should interest all of you are the gun referendum initiatives that are on the ballot. There are 3 of them, and that we need to really know more about. So I have invited our good friend, Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, back to the show. And my friend, it's great to see you again. You're looking good. Everything going well for you? Everything going good?
Everything is going well. Thank you for the compliment. God is good, and I continue to give him all the praise and glory.
Absolutely that. Now, listen, before we jump into the gun referendum initiative, I want to talk a little bit about MATA and the fact that the mayor wiped out that last board and brought in 9 new members. You all had a chance to meet with them, talk with them, and kind of go back and forth. How do you feel about all of this? And more importantly, the charge that this board is going to have moving forward?
Well, right now, we trust the mayor. We're in a partnership, and he brought those 9 new members before us. And during the council meeting, when we were actually had MATA in front of us, my suggestion was to get rid of the current board.
Right.
Because if it's a 10 years, a decade, and no one saw this coming,
and
no one said anything, to me, is a red flag.
Yeah.
No one said anything. And so this new board gives us this new council, 13-member council. Some of them have, been on the previous council, but it gives us an opportunity to have more oversight.
Right.
As you know, that Councilwoman Green did a resolution for us that they would have to report to us quarterly moving forward. And we're trying to do it with transparency. Even on the radio show, Chairman JB Smiley and I and Green, we did WREG. And, I'm 9 months in this. And so things, oversight had not been done, accountability, no transparency. So I think this 13 council board member and these 7 women that you have on here, we're doing deep dives. We're trying to do things more with transparency and be more open to the constituents that put us in our seat.
Yeah,
and that's what we campaigned on.
Yeah, absolutely. That now, and we're in the midst of the election cycle. The early voting has begun. We've seen over 41,000 people in the first few days here in the Memphis and Shelby County area head to the polls. Early voting. I voted over the weekend. So we're off to a good start here. But I know that we have over 500,000 people that are registered to vote in Memphis and Shelby County, and it would be nice if we showed our action for some of the things that impact us most by going to the polls. Am I correct in that? I would imagine you'd agree with that.
I concur with you 100 and more. If there's a number greater than that off the chart, yes.
So we're off to a good start. Now, I know you wanted to talk about, and a lot of folks want to talk about these 3 referendums that are the initiatives that are on the ballot, and how important it is for us to understand what they are about, and more importantly, how they will impact us from the safety perspective in the future. Lay that out for us.
Okay, so safety right now is the number one priority. We know what the guns look like. We see what the gun law states. You know that we had to sue Shelby County Commission because they didn't want us to put these referendums on the ballot.
Right.
And it's so sad that Memphis is Shelby County. We make up Shelby County, Memphis does. Mm-hmm. And they did not want to hear the people's voice. For whatever reason it was about, we were not trying to overrule the state. If you know that state, federal, state, and local, we understand that. But we need our voices heard here in Memphis because we are suffering the most. We are impacted by these guns, these looseless, senseless gun laws. And so now we the people, get a chance to voice our concerns through voting, through democracy.
So we understand that we can't override state law, and we get all of that. As I look at this, however, and I listen to you and your colleagues talk about this, this is bigger than that. I mean, if we show up in numbers and overwhelmingly support what it is you're talking about, that sends a bigger message to the folks up in Nashville and everywhere else that says, you know what, you can't punk Memphis, you can't push us around. We have a voice, and who knows on the back end of this, if depending on the number of people, this could be a pretty big deal. Again, is it not? Could it not?
Yes, we are making a statement. You are exactly right. We are saying to them, we will not be bullied. You will not take our voice. And it is so much bigger than just Memphis. So many other states around this country, around this world, are all dealing with the same exact thing because this has affected different other states.
Sure.
And so with us making the statement that we will not be bullied, we will not be pushed, and we will not be threatened. We send people to the state and we send them to the federal. So we should have the backing of everyone, in which we did. We had resolutions from the county commission, and we had the support from our state representatives on the Hill. Yes.
So, and having said all that, we do know that the mayor didn't think it was a good idea. Mayor Young didn't, and the county mayor didn't think it was a good idea. And I know they have to do business with the state. But again, really, if people understand that what this is really a chance to show people that, again, you can't just nilly-willy, impose laws and rules, from Nashville right here to Memphis and Shelby that affect us on a daily basis. Because, as you said, we're dealing with the crime on a daily basis. We're dealing with the shootings on a daily basis. Crime is a very serious issue, and obviously, getting this on the ballot, which I can kudos and congratulations to all of you for filing suit and getting this thing done. But again, if we get to a point, Councilwoman, if we get to a point to where there's an overwhelming vote of support for these referendums to be passed in terms of this, we know the state, as I said earlier, can override it. But what if anything, are there remedies behind this? Could there be another legal pursuit in reference to all of this if our city overwhelmingly says we need some type of gun control change here?
Well, I'm not the expert on the legal part, but I know that that what we're doing, Chip, is going to speak volumes. Last month in September, Governor Lee was asked about what happened with the referendums. And he made it very clear, yes, and I can quote and unquote him, that there is a solution. Mm-hmm. And the solution that he quoted, and I will unquote it when I finish, was that we need to sit down together because we know what we're experiencing here. So we need to sit down together on the local level and the state level, and let's have a real discussion about common sense gun laws. And there are already laws in places. We're seeing children with guns. I mean, just last night, just early this morning, this man loses his life because he opens his door.
There you go.
He opens his door.
Right.
I almost couldn't breathe when I heard that. Mm-hmm. He just opened because I heard a sound outside, Mr. Chip Washington, and I open my door and I lose my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Senseless.
Yeah.
Demonic.
We have, and when we see situations like this and we hear about situations like this and it continues to happen, I had a conversation with somebody earlier today and we were talking about this, these AK-47s, these automatic assault rifles and stuff. People can walk down the streets with them right now. I mean, without anybody saying anything to them, without law enforcement bothering them or anything. That to me is one of the most disturbing things I think I have ever seen. And you're right. I talked about that earlier about the situation with a man on his own property trying to protect his property got shot several times by people because they were stealing his car and he was interrupting their effort. These are the kind of things that drive people crazy.
Yes,
yeah.
I totally concur.
Yeah.
And so I want you to think about it. When you just said that, something just dropped in my spirit, that you can walk around with handguns, rifles, AR-15s. You can add Glocks,
the Glock switches.
I'm sorry.
The switches, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It sounded like some slavery stuff back in the day that was happening, except it had changed the roles of who has the guns. And so it just doesn't make sense because you got to understand there are age requirements. There are age requirement laws that are in place. Mm-hmm. So when these children that are 12, 11, 13, and 14, all this is illegal. They should not even be in possession.
Right.
And I'm going to say it again and I'm going to say it forever, whether you like it or not. Where are the parents? There needs to be some type of accountability.
Yeah.
When you see a child with those kind of weapons.
Well, we've been talking about that ad nauseum, that parents at some particular point in time actually need to understand what their young people are doing and get more involved in their lives in reference to all of this. We are losing an entire generation behind this. We have to go, but I just want to commend you and I want to commend your fellow comrades on the city council. You guys are sending a message, not only to the citizens here in Memphis, who I think should be paying attention, but a bigger message outside of Memphis too, that what was is not now, and that you're going to question, and that you're going to ask, and you're going to demand accountability. I love that about, and you are not afraid to say what needs to be said because it needs to be said. Am I correct?
That is correct. That is correct. Mm-hmm. And I stress this. Please look at those referendums. They are 5901, 103 requires a gun permit. 5908, 203 banned assault weapons, and 5909 enact a red flag law. Those are important. We, the city council, we the people fought for this to get on this ballot.
Yep.
So you, the people, we, the people, can have a voice.
City Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, my friend. I love having her come on the show, boy. You just get me all fired up, and we get everybody else fired up. Listen, thank you for coming on the show, and I really appreciate you. And this is your home. Anytime you want to come on and talk about what needs to be talked about, all you got to do is find me. That's not hard to do.
I will do that. And I thank you so much. I appreciate you. And just remember, there are 5 referendums on there. They're very self-explanatory. We need those referendums. We need these gun referendum passed. Read them, go online, city council. We've got them everywhere. Call your personal city council, your analyst. Our analysts will walk you through them and explain them. This is about us.
Yolanda Cooper-Sutton, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, my friend. I really, really thank you for the time, and thank you for coming on the show tonight. And we will regather post-election and see what we can talk about then. Okay, you take good care of yourself.
We will. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate you.
Good night.
Good night. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's I don't know if you could find a better argument for how important this election is and how important these referendums are. So we will see what happens, and we thank Yolanda Cooper-Sutton for coming on the show. One final break, and when we get back, and when we come back, rather, we're going to shift things, and we're going to talk about a play that honors a tried and true neighborhood community in this city, and we'll tell you all about it, and we'll tell you how you can see it and everything else. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Come on back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR is made possible by the 18th Annual River Arts Fest, taking place Saturday, October 19th and Sunday, October 20th on Riverside Drive in downtown Memphis. 2 full days of fine arts and music for the whole family. More details at riverartsmemphis.org.
Shannon and Cecilia here. Do you love stories featuring community changemakers in Memphis? Don't miss Just Bluffin', a feel-good podcast found online in the WYXR podcast network.
Access all our podcasts at WYXR.org.
You're listening, but are you in the know? The WYXR weekly newsletter is the best source for keeping up with events at WYXR, whether they are happening on our airwaves, behind the scenes, or out in the community. Log on to newsletter.wyxr.org to sign up for our mailing list and keep yourself in the loop.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. And, we have without question, without doubt, we have some extraordinarily talented people here in the Memphis and Shelby County area. And they are always coming up with new inventive ways to get our attention. As are my next guest here, there is a new play that is coming to town in cooperation with the Orpheum Theater. It is called, and I love the title of this. It is We All We Got. It's a Binghamton play, and I am so fortunate to have the writer of this piece, Ann Perry Wallace, and Santyria Johnson from the Orpheum Theater. Ladies, it's great to see you. Now, for people who are watching us on Facebook Live, and I don't know how this works, but Santyria is the one up to the top here, and Ann is below me here. Ladies, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you. How are you tonight?
All is well. Glad to be here.
Well, glad.
Good to be here.
Absolutely, and glad to have you both. And so you are an actress. You are a writer. You have done quite a few things. But tell me, gotta know what the inspiration was for you to write a play in salute of Binghamton.
Yes, well, writing the play is all a part of the Orpheum's work in Binghamton. Our education department has been going into Binghamton for years, working with the Refugee Empowerment Program. And the kids there always enjoy Story Fest at the end of the year. So when the Orpheum got the chance to do a play about Binghamton, they jumped at the chance and asked me to write it. And so I was honored, and it was a privilege to use my creative juices to honor that neighborhood.
What is it that, in terms of the message here, what would you like people who don't know and who aren't familiar, what are the key essentials that you want people to take away from when they see this production about just how special Binghamton is?
What I want people to take away is the resilience of the people, the beauty of the people, and that they're just like everybody else. They want to live a good life, work, and own homes, and send their kids off to college, and have safety and be in peace. And so I think this play brings to light their voice, and that they're just like, these people are just like everybody else, but resilient, beautiful, hardworking people.
Santyria, Ann mentioned a minute ago that they've been working with you all at the Orpheum Theater. This has been going on for a while in terms of working with the Binghamton community. But how important is this, and how special is this to have this thing actually come to life? I mean, words on a paper now, words on a stage, and to be able to embrace this community from the perspective of the work that the Orpheum does on a daily basis.
It is extremely important to just provide the space for this community to have a voice and to display all of the very raw talent and gifts. Yeah.
She said, yeah. Well, I mean, I think what I meant, I think for people who really don't know, really the history of the connection of you all as a theater with this local community. I mean, we know the Orpheum is well embedded in our city, in our fiber, in our culture. But to be able to bring this to life and to be able to really showcase what is special about this community, from your perspective, in the area that you work in inside the Orpheum Theater, what do you hope? I asked Ann the question about, what's the takeaway? What's the message? And from the theater perspective, what is the takeaway? What is the message that you all are trying to express here?
I think it's very much like the title says. The title says we all we got, but I think the takeaway is that we are truly a community, and that we need each other. That all gifts are important, all stories are important, all communities in Memphis have something powerful to contribute. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a big deal. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this play in particular centers around two individuals, kind of lay out the plot in reference to what you were trying to get to with this play.
Sure. The play is about two young girls One is an African American girl, and one is a refugee girl. And the play is really about how these two girls, coming from different backgrounds, how they navigate the same neighborhood, the things that are going on in the neighborhood, the community, the church, gang violence, the being in schools, bullying, gentrification, dealing with intergenerational relationships, the older people in the neighborhood. And oftentimes what you see is young people are like, they don't respect the older people, but there's been a breakdown in communication, and they want to get out and they want to do something new. Like, I want to leave Memphis. I want to leave this community.
Right.
That type of thing. And so it's how these two girls navigate the same world, but they're living two different lives.
That's very, very interesting. Santyria, now tell us, because I want to make sure that everybody knows, where this is going to be and how they can, be a part of it and how folks can come see it. So I'll leave that side of things to you. And I do know it's going to be at First Baptist Broad. Am I correct? Is it going to be playing there? But go ahead. Tell us about that. Go ahead.
That is correct. There will be 3 opportunities to see this show, as you mentioned, at First Baptist Church Broad. So the first show is going to be November 1st at 7 p.m. That's a Friday. And then on Saturday, November 2nd, the show will be at 1 p.m. And then on November 3rd, which is a Sunday, the show will be at 2 p.m. So there are 3 opportunities to see the show. There will be transportation provided for members of the Binghamton community. So we'll have 3 pickup spots throughout Binghamton for those who would like to come to see the show and perhaps need transportation. But yes, we want everyone to come out and support.
That's a big deal. And now for information, where do they need to go to the website? You got the phone number. I mean, how do we reach out to you? How do we do that?
Absolutely. So for more information, you can visit our website. That's www.orpheum-memphis.com /learn and engage, and then click on the neighborhood play tab to learn more information. You can also reach out directly to us at the Orpheum, the director Taylor St. John at St. John at orpheum-memphis.com for more information as well.
This is wonderful. This just truly is wonderful, and this is a great opportunity to showcase the good in our city. And we need this. Ann Perry Wallace, actress and writer of this piece. Congratulations to you and Santyria.
Thank you.
Santyria Johnson for the Orpheum. Look, kudos, man. This is good stuff, and I hope that people pay attention to this. Find this, go to it, support it, because if you're supporting it, you're not just supporting Binghamton, you're supporting the entire city of Memphis. So congratulations, ladies.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for coming on my show. I thank you. Listen, thank you for coming on the show, and best of success and best of luck in the future. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you there.
Absolutely. I'm making plans. I'm going to try to get there myself, doggone it. Well, thank y'all. I really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do a wrap for our show tonight as Brent plays us out. Really, that's not... See, this is what we talk about. We talk about the challenges that we have in this city. We hear about that all the time. But what about the good things? What about the good stuff? That is part of the good stuff. We all we got. It's the Binghamton story. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of the show tonight. Thank you on all of my folks and friends on Facebook Live tonight. Good crowd. I really appreciate that. If you like what we do each and every week, tell somebody about it, because we need to support, and we encourage you to check us out, because we do some good things around here every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. So for all of us here, for Brand, for lovely Lola, and for yours truly, Chip, we appreciate you. Thank you. We love you. And we are out. See you soon.